The protagonist, Erica, is a pianist and she also takes piano lessons. Despite being advanced in age, she lives with her mother, who refuses to let her live her life. At the start of the movie, Erica returns home and is greeted by her mother. As she tries to enter her room, her mother blocks her, stating that she can't just come and go as she pleases. Her mother questions where she has been since her last student left the school 3 hours earlier. Erica, reluctant to divulge her whereabouts, struggles with her mother's persistent inquiries. To temporarily appease her, she claims that she just stayed in the car to calm down. However, her mother, unconvinced, approaches her and begins to tug at her bag. She drags the bag back with her mother, but she fails, and her mother takes her bag. Her mother starts checking the bag, and she sees clothes. At that moment, she also enters the room and checks her wardrobe to find a new suit she had bought, but she couldn't find it. Her mother asks for her bank book, and she opens it. She checks the money she has while she comes out of the room to confront her mother about her missing suit. She argues with her mother, but her mother keeps being stubborn, which forces her to retaliate. She goes for her mother's hair, and she drags her hair and fights her. Some minutes later, her mother begins to cry. She says she has injuries on her head, and the drag must have affected her more. The pent-down anger in Erica's body forces her to say she wishes her mother had heart attacks and died. But she controls her pain, and she doesn't finish the statement. Her mother, however, knows where the statement could end and keeps crying. Erica gets emotional. She goes closer to her mother, in tears, and apologizes. She helps her check her hair, and they reconcile. As Erica brushes her teeth that night, her mother keeps complaining about how they could have used the money she used to buy clothes for. But Erica claims that the clothes are timeless, and it will be used for a long time, and she will also maintain memories with it. As she retires to the bed beside her mother asks about her students, and they talk about one of her female students who has an affinity with Schober. Knowing that Schober is her favorite genre of music, her mother advises her to remain the best in that aspect of music and never allow anyone to outshine her. The following day, Erica goes to work, takes all of her students, and after her teaching, she leaves work and meets her mother. They both visit the home of Blonsky to attend a recital organized by the family. As they enter the elevator to the floor, they see a man attempting to join them in the elevator, but they close it regardless. The man races up the stairs, reaching the front of the Blonsky's door just as they do. He attempts to introduce himself to Erica, but she pays him no mind until Mrs. Blonsky opens the door and reveals that the boy, Walter Klemmer, is her nephew. The recital begins, and Erica performs beautifully. After her performance, Mrs. Blonsky suggests that the guests take a break for a meal. During this interlude, Walter approaches Erica, expressing a desire to kiss her hands in admiration of her splendid playing. They engage in a conversation about music, during which Walter, though an engineering student, shares his passion for music and his habit of reading about it. Erica also tells him her father died at the asylum. All these while, Erica's mother is having a conversation with Mr. Blonsky. When her mother returns, Walter goes to get her a drink, and her mother tells her she thinks Walter is a leech. After the break is over, the family calls Walter to play. He tells them that the conversation with Erica has changed his choice of song, and he proceeds to play Schober's song, which is what Erica loves most. She looks at him, and later, she goes to teach some of her students. After her class, as she is about to leave, she meets a parent of one of her students, Anna. The mother complains that Anna has been sad that Erica stopped her from playing at a concert. Erica claims she didn't stop her, but she only informs her that playing an instrument is more than passion, and she needs to take more training. She goes to meet Anna and encourages her before going for her training. During her training, she calls her mother to say that she will return late, and after the training, she goes to a pornography store. She pays for access to the private room, and while she waits for her turn, all the men look at her, and they wonder what she is looking for. After the man in the room comes out, she enters and plays a porn video. She takes the tissue with the sperm of the last user of that room and smells it to her satisfaction. The next day at work, her class is interrupted by Walter, who tells her he wants to apply to be her student. She tells him to make his application for the audition in the secretary's room, and after her class, she joins the other professor for the audition. During Walter's audition, she asks him to play any song he feels like, and after the audition, all the judges say he did well except her. She claims he was mid. He gets accepted regardless. That night as she gets home, she is to the bathroom with a blade and uses it to cut her private hair. She cuts her private part as she watches, and she cleans the blood when her mother calls her to eat. Blood drips in front of her mother, who quickly senses that something is amiss and inquires if this is the reason for her feeling weak. Later, Erica visits a magazine store where she overhears one of her students speaking disparagingly about women. In the following class with this student, who appears nervous, she questions his decision to enroll, bluntly stating that he has no talent. When the boy attempts to apologize, she dismissively asks why he is apologizing and demands that he bring his mother to his next class. After dismissing him, she takes a break, but Walter interrupts by knocking on her door. She informs him that his class is scheduled after the break, and he should return then. During his session, she advises him to abandon his focus on Shober and broaden his interests. But Walter expresses a deeper interest in getting closer to her. He confesses that he abandoned his studies because of her, claiming she has been constantly on his mind since they met. Erica, however, insists he concentrate on his studies. After the class, she returns home and informs her mother that she has a rehearsal and will be back late, asking her not to call. After the rehearsal, she tells her colleague not to pick up her mother's call. Then she goes to a restaurant and sits there alone till night. At night, she goes to the park and watches a couple having sex in their car. She bends to masturbate, and when they catch her, she runs away. She returns home, and her mother welcomes her with slaps, although she returns hers back. The following day is Anna's rehearsal, but Anna gets nervous, and she comes late. When she comes, Erica gets angry at her, telling her it's just a rehearsal and forces her to go to the stage with her colleagues. But Walter pacifies Anna. Walter encourages Anna, and she gets her courage and proceeds to play. She plays beautifully, striking Erica's jealousy, so Erica goes into the coat room with a glass. She breaks the glass inside clothes and pours it into Anna's pocket. After the show, Walter comes to meet her about her decision that he shouldn't play Shober. As they talk, Anna screams in pain behind them after wounding herself with the glass. So Erica tells Walter that he should go be Anna's guardian angel like he is, and she walks away. He sees her walk into the bathroom, and he runs to meet her. He tries to jump through her door but fails, and as he is about to leave, she opens the door. She starts kissing him, and they make out. She proceeds to give him a blow job but stops in the middle, saying because he didn't obey her commands. She wants him to remain horny without him trying to release. He begs her, claiming it has to be a level ground, but she insists that if he continues with a hand job, she will never see him again. He accepts and jumps around to reduce his emotions. The following day, Anna's mother visits her. The woman says Anna won't be able to play for about 2 months with no hope of full recovery, and she tells the mother that she will substitute for Anna at the final concert. During a teaching session with Walter, he attempts to confess his love for her, but she deflects by handing him a letter, instructing him to read it when he's alone. Walter, undeterred, moves closer and expresses a desire for them to spend a weekend together. However, she rebuffs him, stating that she does not harbor any romantic feelings. She asserts that she doesn't value emotions and would not let them interfere with her intellect. After the session ends, he tails her to her house. He tries to kiss her by the stairs, but she stops him, telling him to read the letter first. He follows her as she knows the door. Her mother comes to open up, and she tells her mother she has an unfinished conversation with Walter. He follows her to her room, and they lock her mother outside. He attempts to kiss her, but she insists he reads the letter first. As he does so, he sees all the stupid sexual feelings she has penned down inside her. In the letter, she asks him to hit her and beat her. She requests for BDSM, bringing out some of the instruments. She tells him she doesn't want him to hate her as she has always waited for him to come, and she wants him to command her. She kneels in front of him, asking him to hit her if he wants to, but he drops the letter telling her he loves her, and he leaves. That night, her mother complains that she brought Walter home. As they talk, she forcefully climbs on her mother and starts kissing her, but her mother resists and calls her mad. The following day, she goes to Walter to apologize. She finds him at the ice rink, and she goes to meet him. She takes him to the closet, telling him she loves him and they should make out. However, when they attempt to have sex like a normal couple, she vomits. She cleans up, asking him to have sex with her again, but he refuses, calling her stinky. That night, while she is sleeping with her mother, she hears a knock. It turns out to be Walter. He enters and insults her, saying he will deal with her the way she wants. He locks her mother in a room as instructed and slaps her till her face is bloody. He has sex with her and leaves her there. She crawls to her room to open the door for her mother, who pacifies her. The following day, she takes a knife along for the concert, where she is to replace Anna. She meets Anna and her mother and stays by the concert door. Walter arrives with his family, and they greet her. He walks past her, telling her he can't wait to hear her place, and goes. She feels bad, takes the knife, and stabs her arm. Her body bleeds as she walks out of the hall and enters the street. And movie ends here. Thank you for watching.